So we're here with Karen Lemieux today. Thank you for being here, Karen. Karen, you're in the healing arts field, and I would like you to introduce yourselves to our Hearts of Strangers audience, or to anyone who's watching this, as to who you are and what you do.
So I'm Karen Lemieux, and I started out my career as a licensed clinical social worker. And now I identify myself as a healer because my practice is broader than just clinical social work in a Western model. So I offer intuitive healing. I teach Kundalini Yoga, which is a science of healing. I teach Reiki. Everything that I do is a means of empowering people to be their own healer. Like, I'm not the healer, and I don't have the answers, but I will facilitate you to that place of wisdom within yourself, so that can be raised to consciousness, so that you know what it is that you need to know for your own healing and your own wellness. So I've done a lot of studying and my own healing, integrating Eastern and Western models of health and wellness. So I draw from a lot of different traditions to facilitate healing for people.
What has led you on this path of becoming a healer?
My own recovery, I'm sure. Yeah. So I have a history of child sexual abuse and child abuse, and my specialty is in child sexual abuse, helping people recover from that, and war trauma, ironically. I also have a specialty in hospice and death and dying, grief and loss, and I lost my son 7 years ago to death. So it feels like an integration. My personal life and my professional life is one life. And so it's been trying to identify what's created suffering in me and what facilitates that relief of that suffering. And when I figure it out, I want to bring it to other people to help them identify where their suffering is coming from and how to relieve suffering in themselves.
What are some of the ways that, some of the simple, beneficial tools that you may use that are effective in helping someone move through some of the traumas or grief that they're experiencing in their life and connect with themselves on a deeper level?
Some of the tools that I use when I'm working with people, deep listening for understanding is a really critical tool. Is just letting people be fully expressed, whatever it is they need to say, what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and creating a safe place for them to do that. That feels really important, creating safe, sacred space for people to share whatever it is that they need to share, and bringing a full presence to them and a loving, non-judgmental, kind of unconditional presence to whatever their story is, and helping affirm for them that they're okay. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not broken. They don't need to be fixed. And letting those beliefs that we have about ourselves surface, because we think we're broken and we think we need to be fixed and we think there's something wrong with us. So letting those beliefs kind of rise to the surface, and then helping them see that that's not true. So really being the mirror for them to reflect back the truth of who they really are underneath all that suffering. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So for someone who is watching this and recognizing that they are in sort of the midst of starting to confront and deal with some of their traumas and their grief in their life, what are some of the things that they could institute within their daily life without necessarily involving a clinician or a therapist in some way, but just some basic things that they could start practicing in their daily life?
I encourage people to do what I call radical self-honoring, which is intently listening to ourselves and our own inner voice, if we have access to that, and taking exceptionally good care of ourselves, whatever that might be, allowing ourselves time to rest, allowing ourselves time to play, allowing ourselves to go for a hike, to put work down, to prioritize ourselves is important. We're really skilled at taking care of other people, and our culture suggests that that's what we should be doing, is taking care of other people, and it's often to the detriment of ourselves. So to the degree that we can hear the inner voice that says, you know what, we need not to go do that today, what we need to do is go to a movie or rest or go play or call a friend and talk or stop and have a cup of tea or sit in meditation for 15 minutes or go out dancing or dance in the living room by yourself. And everything that we do to self-nurture and self-care is critically important, and we don't do it well in this culture. And so I invite people to please honor whatever that inner voice is telling them. And I know that like guilt and all that stuff will come up. Do it anyway. Take care of yourself anyway. Play anyway. Nourish, love, honor, and care for yourself, most importantly.
Reaching out for help and support when you're going through some challenges in your life. I mean, just acknowledging that you need help and support in itself is daunting enough. But once you get to the place where you recognize that this is what I need to do, and taking that step to do it can be very, very daunting, especially when you're going through the internet and you're looking and there's no faces to people and there's no connection. If people are connecting with what you're sharing here today and they want to get in touch with you to work with you in a sort of professional manner, how would they reach out to you?
They can call me directly. My phone number is 860-707-3881, so they can call me directly. I have a Facebook presence, so they can find me on Facebook under KarenLemieux.net, or just look for Karen Lemieux. You can find me there. There's a little information about my services, what I do, who I am, and email if they want to. It's my name, Karen@KarenLemieux.net. Any of those ways are great.
Great. And what has inspired you to engage with Hearts of Strangers?
Well, I love what you do. I mentioned earlier, I feel like intention is really powerful, and I just intuitively know, I guess I follow my own best advice, my inner voice said to connect. I was asked to by a friend who knows you and knows your work, so I followed the inner voice that said go, even though I might have been afraid to tell the story or like whatever. I trusted that inner wisdom. I love what you're doing. I love that you're able to share difficulties people are experiencing and also the hope in it. So that's so important, to share the light and to be the light for others. What do they say? There's two ways to be the light: be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. So I see you and Hearts of Strangers as being that, being the candle and the mirror that reflects it in the world. And so I felt like this was a safe place for me to take a risk of coming out and sharing my story and just being a symbol of hope and possibility for others.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being part of our first life skills section. If people are interested in reaching out to Karen, they can do so through Facebook or email or her phone number. She's local to Connecticut. What is the town that
I'm in Rocky Hill.
Okay. So if you're interested, please reach out to Karen, and I hope that you have a sense of what she does and who she is through what she shared today, and eventually you can look forward to a segment of her story on Under the Lights, which will be published on YouTube sometime soon. We hope that you have a great day. Is there a message that you'd like to close with, Karen?
Oh, just love yourself fully. Like, just be present to who you are, and cherish and honor you, because you're divine and you're light and you're beautiful and you're wonderful and you're here for a reason.
Absolutely. And you're not alone. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.